Genesis 21 is not a quiet chapter. It is loud with emotion. It's full of joy, tension, heartbreak, jealousy, laughter, tears, and divine faithfulness. This chapter provides something powerful. God can keep his promise and still allow drama in the house. The chapter opens with a miracle. After years of waiting, after years of doubts, after years of mess-ups, God finally shows up at the right time. Sarah gives birth to Isaac. Now, understand this. Sarah was not young. Abraham wasn't young. This was humanly impossible, but verse 1 says something powerful. The Lord visits Sarah as he had said, not as Abraham hoped, not as Sarah imagined, but as God had said. Some of you are waiting on promises right now. You think God forgot. You think it's too late. But this chapter says delay does not mean denial. God does not run on your calendar. God runs on his covenant. And when Isaac is born, Sarah laughs again. But this time it's not a doubt laughter. It's joy laughter. God turned her mockery into a miracle. That's what God does. But don't think this chapter is all about balloons and confetti. Verse 9 says that Ishmael, the son of Hagar, was mocking Isaac. This wasn't playful teasing. This was rivalry. This was resentment. This was old wounds resurfacing. Sarah sees it and says, get rid of this woman and her son. Now wait, this is heavy, because Ishmael is Abraham's son too. And Abraham, he's deeply distressed. Here's the truth. You can have a promise and still have pain. God never said the blessing would be drama-free. God never said disobedience would be emotionally easy. Sometimes God fulfills your promise and exposes unresolved mess at the same time. And God tells Abraham something shocking. Listen to Sarah. Why? Because Isaac is the child of the promise. Here's the hard part. Not everything that came from you is meant to stay with you. Some relationships end not because of hatred, but because of destiny. Now, don't get it twisted. God did not abandon Ishmael. Hagar and Ishmael are sent away, and they end up in the wilderness. They run out of water. Hagar lays the bow down and walks away and cries because she thinks he's about to die. That's a mother's heartbreak. But verse 17 says, God heard the voice of the boy. Did you catch that? Not Abraham's voice, not Sarah's voice, not Hagar's voice. God heard the child. God sent an angel. God opens Hagar's eyes. God shows her a well of water, and God saves the boy. Then God says something powerful. I will make him into a great nation. Listen to me. Just because someone is not part of your promise doesn't mean God is done with them. God has a different plan for Ishmael. Not a lesser one, just a different one. That well that appeared out of nowhere, that's God saying, I provide even when you feel abandoned. Some of you are in the wilderness seasons right now. You feel alone. You feel overlooked. You feel rejected. But Genesis 21 says God specializes in surprise wells. You didn't see it coming. You didn't know where it would come from. But when your strength runs out, God shows up. Now the chapter ends with something interesting. Amlish, the same king from the previous chapter, comes to Abraham and says, God is with you in everything you do. Did you catch that? When God is in your life, even your enemies can't deny it. Abraham makes a covenant with him at Beersheba, which means a well of oath, a well again. This chapter starts with a miracle baby and ends with a covenant wells. Why? Because God is a God of provision and promise. Genesis 21 teaches us 5 powerful truths. God keeps his word no matter how long it takes. Joy and conflict can exist at the same time. God still cares about people even when they leave your life. And God provides in wilderness seasons. God will make your life undeniable to others. Isaac means laughter. God turned pain into praise, waiting to worship, and mockery into miracles. Let me slow this down right here. Some of you are holding on to promises that feel impossible. Some of you are grieving relationships that God removed. Some of you are crying in the wilderness. Some of you are tired of waiting. But Genesis 21 says, God sees you. God hears you. God has not forgotten you, and God will provide for you. The promise is coming. The well is coming. The laughter is coming. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean God said no. Sometimes he's just saying, wait.